So I'm working on some of my parts for the Mustang today. There's somebody cutting a tree down in the background, so I'll try to, hopefully you'll be able to hear what I'm talking about. But this is the headlight part, and I've primed it. This is my other one. I've sanded them down and primed them. Well, I did the same thing with this. I sanded it and primed it, and then I sanded the primer. But when I paint it, you see the paint's kind of goofy. Make sure I get a good picture here. The paint's not all that good. So I gotta wait for this to dry, and then I gotta sand it again and see what's going on with it. So what I'm using on these small pieces is rust-oleum primer, and it's fast drying and wet sandable. And now I'm using this glossy enamel to paint all my small parts with, and just trying to make it look as good as I can. But you would think when you paint it with their primer and paint it and wet sand it and clean it and paint it with their paint, that you would not have that going on. I mean, I don't understand that. It just looks like crap. So anyway, I'm going to have to let this piece dry, and then I'm going to sand it and start over on that one. And now here's another piece. I've spray painted it with primer. It's got some scratches on it. I'm going to try to get that out, and then I'm going to paint it again. So what I'm using is 600. I'm using 600 grit paper, and I'm just lightly sanding it around these areas. So what I'm doing is I've got some clean water here, and I'm just going to try to go over this as best I can and see if I can get as many scratches and stuff out of it as I can. I'm using a circular motion, back and forth motion, any kind of motion, just try to get this as smooth as I can. As you're wet sanding, you're going to take some of the primer off, but the thing is, these little holes that were here, now they're filled up with primer instead of having to use body filler. Let me get over here in the light a little bit better so you can see a little bit better. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, I think you can see a little bit better there. But these little gray spots here, you can go over them with your finger, and when you can't fill them anymore, then the primer's done its job filling in the holes. And this is sandable primer, so it's supposed to be able to fill some scratches and minor imperfections. So you just want to keep working at it. Make sure your water's clean, your sandpaper's clean, and then when you're happy with it, you can paint it. So I'm going to clean this off, and I'm going to spray paint it, and we'll see what it looks like. So I've got it dried, and I'm cleaning it as much as I can clean it, making sure there's no dust or anything on it. And now we're going to paint it. And hopefully it's going to turn out this color. First we're going to put a light coat on it. course, you can tell I'm out here painting in my underneath my carport cover here. That's where I usually park my truck. But I'm using it for this today. So now, just trying to get an even coat of paint on it, so we can see what it's going to look like. Keep shaking the paint can so you keep the paint mixed good. Somebody on a motorcycle. Oh, that's one of them new GTO cars. That wasn't a motorcycle. Sounds good. When you work outside and work at home on stuff, you gotta deal with all this stuff. You don't want it in runs, but you want it wet. You want it to look wet. Make sure you get the edges good, because they're gonna take a beating. And that's about as good as that one's gonna get. I'm probably not going to do anything else to that. So, that one turned out pretty good. Now if the rest of the pieces turn out that good, I'll be happy. I'll be a happy camper. So this is one of the taillight pieces that goes around the taillight and around the bumper on the back of my 67 Mustang. I'm hoping the rest of it turns out this good. What do you think? What do you think? I can't tell what I'm looking at because the sun is so bright out here. But we're going to show you as much as we can. Looks pretty good. Alright, that's all for this segment, and I will get back with you and show you more videos as I do more work on it. Thanks for watching. I hope if you're painting your car that this helps you out.